Pokerogue, a game that took the Pokemon community by storm a few months ago, is a fun, fast-paced Pokemon battle gauntlet styled after a roguelike. Pokerogue is a non-stop climb to the top of a 200-floor tower to prove that you, like the champions before you, are indeed a Pokemon master. In honor of the Halloween season, I had one challenge in mind. I wanted to see if it was possible to beat Pokerogue with only ghost types. My Pokeween was going to be spent scaling this 200-level dungeon. Before I could achieve my ghoulish attack against the 200 floors, though, I had a few obstacles blocking my path to success. For one, I haven't played Pokerogue in a good 3 months, and the game has been updated a lot since that time. You see, it used to be that you only fought trainers and Pokemon while traversing the multi-level dungeon. Since the last time I played, though, the game has updated to include multiple non-battle events, whether they were ladies giving away shop vouchers for vitamins, random Pokemon guarding berry trees, or even strange cultists offering blessings and curses from Giratina. One thing was sure, I was going to be out of my element if I tried to complete my first run without having some idea of what events were in store for me. Another obstacle in my way was simply geography, believe it or not. Like any roguelike, I needed to plan a route, and in the downtime since I last played Pokerogue, I'd forgotten a little bit of what the map looked like. I needed to scout out the areas ahead and figure out which areas my team would be strongest and which areas I should avoid like a Wimpod on a crowded beach. Mapping the areas out in my head was going to be key to my success. Lastly, the largest obstacle to my Ghost Trainer success was simply the cost of bringing in a full team. You see, in Pokerogue, each Pokemon you bring in has a cost associated with it. Your starting party's total cost cannot exceed 10, which often means, in a normal run at least, you're only bringing in 3 to 4 mons to start off with. Meanwhile, I needed to bring in a full team of 6 right from the start, since there was no guarantee I would encounter many ghost types during my journey. The only way I could reduce these costs is by gaining and spending candies for each individual mon, which can in turn only be attained by improving friendship with a Pokemon while in a challenge attempt. Needless to say, it's going to take a while to gather all of the candies. So, my 3 obstacles: learning new events and learning the geography, and reducing the party cost. Like any roguelike, the only way to get good is to play, so I set my mind to the task and began scouting, training, and grinding up my ghost types to reach the reduced cost that I needed to bring a full team of ghouls and ghasts into the dungeon. My plan was essentially to do normal runs of Pokerogue, with one ghost type heading each team as the point mon for most fights. This way, I was able to scout out events, relearn the flow of the map, and grind candies for each ghost type as quickly as I could think of a way to do that. It also allowed me to plan out individual builds for each Pokemon I planned on bringing in on my final team. So, after nearly 25 hours of these runs, that's right, 25 hours of scouting, my training was complete. I could finally begin haunting the dungeon with my ghosts. Duskull for special defense bulk and strength sap stalling, Yamask for defensive bulk and haze debuffing for the final boss, Drifblim for setup with baton pass and early sweeping with calm mind, Pumpkaboo with the well-baked body passive as a second ability for leech seed and pickup item support, Honedge for damage and late game King Shield pivoting, and Sableye. He ends up being useful, but I plan on replacing him as soon as I encounter another viable ghost type. Regardless, with this team of specters, I was sure this challenge would be a piece of cake. I may have been wrong about this being a piece of pumpkin spiced cake. You see, I found that most runs get bodied by an early game checkpoint, the floor 25 battle with your rival Ivy. Though she only has 3 mons at this point, they're often all higher leveled than a majority of my Pokemon, and so passing this checkpoint becomes a balancing act of ensuring I get enough XP to give her level 18 starter a challenge, while also not over-investing in one of my Pokemon and leaving the rest of my team's levels in the dust. Luckily, on the 6th attempt, I acquired some important XP increasing items that helped keep the team on par with Ivy's, mainly a super XP charm and an XP all. Unfortunately, it didn't seem like we even needed these items because this battle was a pushover this time. Apparently, her Monferno couldn't even hit us, so it just kept stacking nasty plots after nasty plots, but never attacked. So, with her strongest Mon out of the way and my entire team as strong or stronger than her weakest Pokemon, the rest of the battle is barely worth acknowledging. I mean, seriously, I had more trouble with a bounce spamming Azumarill 3 floors later. With that Azumarill, I was left with only 2 Mons after fighting it. It was very possible that the run ended there with the Azumarill and not with Ivy. But we survived, and I mean, surely nothing worse can show up for this lake, right? Crap! Having lost track of the floors I was on, I went into the Crasher Wake battle with one Pokemon, Pumpkaboo, who, yes, at this point had Leech Seed for a little extra bulk, but bulk or not, Wake had a Gyarados, and it was only thanks to a lucky Reviver Seed that I picked up a few floors earlier that I was able to survive his monstrosity and win the day. If it weren't for that Reviver Seed, for that little bit of luck, I would have lost, and the run would have ended there. Luck can be a fickle friend though, and after surviving 2 near wipes in a row, I learned you could only count on her sometimes. First, on floor 35, I discovered that Team Skull would be the villains I face in this challenge, which is bad. They like to favor dark types, one of the major weaknesses for my team, and while I would have preferred someone like Team Aqua or Magma, I easily dealt with the first Skull Grunt, and noticed that my luck began to turn around as I acquired a map on floor 43. This map was the holy grail of items that I could unlock for this run, since now it allowed me to directly control which areas I progressed to, ensuring that I never arrived in areas that would normally spell doom for my team of ghost types. It also made it easier to find other ghost types to replace Sableye for the late game where he would drop off in usability. This string of luck continued on floors 49, 50, and 51, where I got a cascade of evolutions for the team, lining us up with a Driftblend Dusclops Cofagrigus and a Duoblade, emboldening me in my pursuit of my goal. A goal, mind you, that became much more viable after an epiphany hit me on floor 53. We don't encounter an Oricorio. First, no. Wait, hold up! Pokerogue, Curse, Eternatus. Oh! Wait, okay! Cool. I just need to make a stall team at this point and use Curse with somebody. That's fantastic. Okay. Curse was the perfect weapon. The anti-venom to the final boss of Pokerogue. Just like Leech Seed, which operates off a percentage of a boss's full health bar, Curse does the same thing, effectively bypassing one of Eternatus' 5 mini health bars each turn. This discovery convinced me that it was indeed possible to conquer Pokerogue with just ghost types. All it would take now is making it to the distant floor 200. Not long after this discovery, I found another good turn of fortune during my third rival battle with Ivy. In the time between our last battle, it seemed that Ivy acquired a Chansey, a normal-type Pokemon that would be immune to my stab ghost-type attacks. And due to AI switch protocol, Ivy would from now on favor swapping out to Chansey in order to capitalize on the defensive immunity that it provided. No damage is always better than some damage in the eyes of the AI. Unfortunately for Ivy, the only thing this ended up accomplishing was buying me time to set up with my Driftblim at the start of the battle and easily sweeping her team. First Chansey fell, then Corviknight, then her Veluza, and lastly, her partner Infernape. With the sweet taste of victory just behind me, I used the map I acquired earlier to travel to the lake area, where, after a brief scuffle with Team Skull, I was able to traverse and enter into the beach area. And who else was waiting for us at the beach but a ghost-type pal of Sand? You see, this Palisand, eager to join our ghoulish squad, would soon learn Shore Up, offering itself as a key component to the stall strategies I planned to use against Eternatus on floor 200. And so it was. Palisand was caught and replaced Sableye, the weakest link on our team. Immediately, Palisand was followed by an evolution from Pumpkaboo into Gourgeist, and then an evolution from Dual Blade into Aegislash. Our all-star team of ghost types was finally assembled. I'll be honest and say that, at this point, I didn't believe there was much that could stop us, and a string of victories only confirmed my bias. While Marlin wished to halt us with his Crawdons, Aegislash easily dispatched of the Dark type, while Driftblim handled much of the rest of his team. Even Ivy on floor 95 was a pushover, with her only threat being a Dragapult with Phantom Force. Of course, we know this. Cool. The plan worked. It probably shouldn't have. Then, upon bestowing Dusclops with a Reaper Cloth, I acquired a Dusknoir, along with its massive 135 base stats in defense and special defense, only bolstering my team's power. While a boss Glamora tried putting up a fight, there was nothing I could do against our new friend Palisand, who held out strong at just 2 hit points, only to shore up and recover all the damage Glamora dealt. Then, only a few floors later, Palisand did it again, surviving on 1 hit point while fighting Team Skull admin Plumeria. Not even Guzma with a surprise Mega Pinsir was a problem for my team. Mummy quickly shut down Mega Pinsir, and the rest of the battle was smooth sailing from there. Like I said, nothing could stop us. I'm back! Unless I happen to forget to heal before going into a boss battle with Crasher Wake. Yikes. Blindsided by this blast from the past and with no lucky Reviver Seed in sight to save me, I had to be very careful battling Crasher Wake again, as most of my mons were within 1 attack of getting KO'd. With a bit of stalling, Dusknoir was somehow able to weaken Inteleon enough for Driftblim to come in, who then set up with Calm Mind and started frying Wake's mons with Thunderbolt. Things got complicated, however, when Gyarados came out. Luckily, some attack stalling with Aegislash and then some bulk ups from Dusknoir opened the way to victory against Wake's team, though. It was a good battle, Wake, and I'll always remember your efforts, but no one can stand between me and my dream. Phew, that was a close call. If I made one wrong move there, Wake would have sent this run down to the depths to sleep with the fishes. But now with him out of the way, I can start planning for the endgame. 2 helpful items followed the battle with Crasher Wake. A healing charm, which would buff Leech Seed and Shore Up, as well as a scope lens, which would lend Aegislash with an increased crit rate. At about floor 139, I decided it was time to pick up Curse. For who, though, I wasn't quite sure, and so after a little bit of deliberation, I decided to teach it to Dusknoir, due to his high special defense, which would allow him to survive an attack from Eternatus later on. Ivy showed up not too long after that, and it was time for our second to last battle. Ironhead. Shadowbone. Oh, and a critical hit. I'm so sorry, Ivy. I don't know why I did Ironhead, but it was a crit again. Oh my gosh. It was a crit again. Oh my gosh, and the Quick Claw is proccing. I do a Shadow Ball. Punch. There we go. Curse on you. Pathetic. This is what I mean, Ivy, when I say I can't be stopped. Aegislash just defied the odds and crit not once, but 4 times against you, all in a row. You can't beat me. No one can. Oh. You. I thought we were through with you, Guzma. Your Crawdon is nothing compared to my Dusknoir. And a Xurkitree? Why does a bug specialist like you have an overgrown Christmas tree? Get it out of here! Golisopod, barely a threat. Come on, bring out your big guns, your Mega Pinsir. Yeah, there he is. Cophogregus, mummify this fool so that we can take him down. Now, Aegislash, wipe out his team. Drag them to the underworld. Every Every trainer I have fought, every Pokemon I have battled, all of them have crumbled beneath my power. The floor 170 boss, an Araquanid, was easily exterminated. Gym Leader Chuck on floor 180 tried to test his fists against my sword and shield, but was easily cut down to size by Aegislash. Even the Colossian Elite Four and Champion were pushovers. Malva was extinguished by my grass type of all Pokemon. And while Seabold's Clawitzer tried putting up a fight, it didn't really matter in the face of my Royal Blade. For a moment, I thought Wickstrom would be able to withstand my party's attacks. But I guess I was wrong. Even the powerful dragon types of Drasna were dragged down into their graves by my ghouls. In the face of such power, Champion Diantha was like an ant facing a dinosaur. Goodbye, Diantha. Kalos deserved better. I can feel it. We're reaching the end. My ghosts and I are reaching the top. We are so close to tearing down the venomous dragon that calls this dungeon home. The one that has trapped us in this repetitive turmoil. But before we can reach him, we have one more challenger standing in my way. One more guardian protecting that vicious snake. Okay. So it's just us again. You know, I keep going around and around in my head. There's something to all this. Why everything seems so strange now. Have your dream. I have this ambition in me. Ivy, spare me the poetry. It's do or die right now for you. You either stop me right here, right now, or I go on to complete my challenge. So, Ivy, what'll it be? Okay. Ivy opens up with Infernape, so I quickly pivoted towards Gourgeist with Well-Baked Body. Ivy is apparently not a fan of Leech Seed or my fire immunity, so she eventually switches to Corviknight. In this case, obviously Aegislash is the answer, so I swap in and tank a Brave Bird, setting up a Swords Dance when Ivy decides to send in Blissey. I mean, have you learned anything from our previous fights? This Blissey is not only a free KO, but also a free full heal thanks to my Shell Bells. Come on, learn a little, put a little effort into the battle. Where's that fearsome trainer I found so many times on floor 25? Where's the trainer I fought tooth and nail against in my early days of Pokerogue? I know you're stronger than this. Surely you're stronger than this. Stop wasting my time. Send in your big guns. I know you have him lurking in the back. I've seen him before. Let's just Seed Bomb over it sometime.
You asked for it!
No. No. Did I get in over my head? Have I lost? It's Aegislash against 4 of Ivy's Pokemon. Is this it? Does the run end here? Does all of my hard work collapse because I didn't take Ivy seriously? Aegislash, it all comes down to you and a little bit of luck. Attack. Yes! Quick Claw! Quick Claw procced! Okay. Okay, we do a King Shield. That gets us in defensive mode. Crunch is fine. Okay. Do a Shadow Bone. I'm faster. I've healed. King Shield. Defend against Brave Bird. Attack falls. Do a Swords Dance. Okay. Do a Shadow Bone. I'm faster. I should recover most of my health. Scouting out with King Shield. We did it! We did it! Oh my gosh, we did it! Yes! Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. It all came down to luck and Aegislash, but it worked. We beat Ivy. It turns out we really can't be stopped. All that's truly left now is Eternatus. I open up with Driftblim to set up with Calm Mind, and after barely surviving an Eternabeam, I swap out to Gourgeist to set up Leech Seed. From there, I whittle down Eternatus' health until it enters Eternamax. Okay, he's gonna start his thing now. With Palossand already on the field, Dusknoir joins, and with a quick curse, Eternatus' doom is spelled. Unable to damage either Palossand or Dusknoir enough when both are healing constantly with Strength Sap and Shore Up, Eternatus falls only a few turns later, torn down by the combination of Curse and Leech Seed. There we go. Magnificent. We did it, boys! Woo! It's just that easy when you have an army of the dead behind you. Wow. This journey was a blast. I mean, I got to fall in love with some new Pokemon that I've never used before, and I learned so much just about Pokemon in general, whether it be type matchups, strategies for individual Mons, or even learn sets and mechanics. It was really a fantastic journey, Megalomania aside. Really, it wouldn't have even been possible without the 7 ghost types I used this run. All 7 of them, I mean. Even Sableye. So, now, with this haunting challenge completed, and this video uploaded a little late, all I have to say is this. Quick Claw is clutch, Aegislash is king, time travel is based, and happy Pokeween.